So do you feel like your little ones and natural hair products has stopped working, isn't working, or you've tried many products and you're still not getting the desired results from the products you're using on your little one's hair? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you the real reason why your little one's natural hair products aren't working and what you need to do to get the most out of your little one's current natural hair products. Hey NC fam, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Novella. I am a kids hair coach and I help moms to confidently care for their children's natural hair and also create new generational cycles. Okay NC fam, so before we get into this video, if you are struggling with moisture retention for your little one's hair, it's always dry, you're not sure of what method to use to moisturize your little one's hair, then I have created a free guide for you. Now this guide is going to show you how to use the LCO method, which is one of my favorite methods of moisturizing my children's hair. It's going to show you step by step on how to use this method to help your little one's hair with moisture retention. All you need to do is to click the link below this video to get access to this free guide. So the first reason why your little one's products may not be working anymore is simply because their hair needs may have changed. Now I know you're probably thinking your little one's hair has gotten used to the products. That's probably why it isn't working as well or not working anymore for the hair. And one thing is, your child's hair cannot get used to a product. Remember, the hair is dead, so it's impossible for it to get used to something. That's not how the hair works. However, what could be happening is that your child's hair needs have changed. So let's just say that recently you've started blow drying your little one's hair a lot on high heat, no heat protection or anything like that. So your little one's hair has become more damaged, it has become more compromised. So because of this, their hair needs have changed, and because their hair needs have changed, the products you were using before is no longer meeting the current hair needs. So what you need to do is to switch or change your little one's products to meet their current hair needs. So that is one reason why your little one's hair products may not be working as well or working at all anymore, simply because their hair needs have changed. Okay, so the other reason why your little one's products may not be working or working as well is because of user error. Now this is very common. I find that a lot of moms, when they're using products, they don't tend to read the instructions of how to use the products. So let's just say, for example, you're using a product and it says to use this particular product on wet hair. There's a reason why they have said use it on wet hair, because it works better on wet hair than it does on dry hair. You're not going to see the true performance of the product because it has been intended to be used on wet hair. So if you're using it on dry hair, you may not get the desired results because that's not how the product was intended to be used. So always read the instructions. If you want to get the most out of a product, use it the way it has been intended for you to use. If it says use it on wet hair, use it on wet hair. If it says use it for 10 minutes, use it for 10 minutes and not for 5 hours. Does that make sense? So another reason why our little one's hair products may not be working as desired is because of incorrect technique. So this is something that I find with a lot of my clients when I am coaching them one-on-one, and I tell them, show me how you moisturize your little one's hair, for example. They're using incorrect technique. So firstly, for example, they're moisturizing all in one. You're going to miss certain spots if you're moisturizing this way. The next thing is they're not moisturizing in sections. Like I said, they're moisturizing all in one, so they're definitely going to miss certain areas. Certain spots will still be dry because they're moisturizing all in one. And then when they're applying the products, they're not working in and smoothing the product in and then taking their time to really work the product in, if that makes sense. So technique is really, really important. Depending on what product you use will depend on what technique. For example, if you're doing a wash and go, you're going to have to be doing a lot of smoothing, raking, all those kind of things. So just make sure that whatever product you're using the right technique to go with it in order to get the desired results from that particular product. The other reason why your little one's natural hair products may not be working as well or at all is because you're probably working on hair that isn't clean, that hasn't been cleansed, that has a lot of build-up on it. I always say, when you are, even for example, when you're trying new products, always work on freshly washed hair. So let's just say you've purchased a new product, you want to make sure that the hair has been cleansed properly. You want to make sure that there's no build-ups. If you need to clarify, for example, use a clarifying shampoo, use a clarifying shampoo to remove all of that build-up from your little one's hair. And then when you try a new product, you're more likely to get the desired results because you're working on cleansed hair, and also you're giving that product a chance to really perform. If you're working on hair that is dirty or has a lot of build up, you're less likely to see the true performance of this product. So it's a bit unfair to say that you've tried a product, you haven't, just let's say you haven't washed your little one's hair in 3 or 4 weeks, you're contending with a lot of product build up, and then you're using this new product and saying that it isn't working, whereas there's a lot of build up, the hair isn't clean, so you're not getting the true performance of this product. And of course, if this isn't a new product and you feel like the product has stopped working, maybe it's time for a deep clean. Maybe it's time for you to use a clarifying shampoo on your little one's hair to remove all of that build up from the hair, and then you'll find that the product is actually working like it should be. That's actually a sign as well that your little one's hair has a lot of build up, especially if you're one of the moms who doesn't like to use a shampoo and you only conditioner, only wash, only co-wash. This could be an indication that you need to use a proper shampoo to really cleanse your little one's hair, and then try this product again that you've been using for a while that you think has stopped working, and you're more likely to see that the product didn't stop working, but it's just because your little one's hair had product build up. Another reason why your little one's hair products may not be working is because their hair just doesn't like it. Yes, that is a natural reason as well. It could just be literally that your little one's hair doesn't like it. Now, there's so many natural hair products out there, it doesn't mean their hair is going to like every single product out there, and that's okay. If you find something that your little one's hair doesn't like, it's fine. Just try the next thing until you find your staples. When you find your staples, just stick to those staples. But you're going to find, especially if you just started this natural hair journey recently for your little one, you may find that you're going to have to try some products until you find your staples. And as I said, that's okay. It's part of the experimentation stage of getting to know your little one's hair, what their hair likes and dislikes. It's all part of the process, but eventually, after all the trial and errors, you're going to find your little one's staple. If you find a product your little one's hair doesn't like, it's fine. Possibly give it to someone else that may like the product or may find a better use of the product. Give it to someone else and try something else until you find your little one's staple. The other reason why your little one's product may not have worked or isn't working well is because you just used the product one time. Now, one time may not be enough. I mean, especially if you're new to this natural hair journey, you may need to try a couple of times to be sure of how the product is performing on your little one's hair before you give your final verdict. Of course, if you're experienced like I am, for example, on this natural hair journey, for me, if I use a product one time, I can kind of tell if my children's hair likes it or not, and from that I would either stop or whatever, but I can tell. But if you're new to this hair journey, it could literally just be that you've tried it once and you feel like it isn't working. Just try it a couple more times just to be sure that it isn't just you thinking it isn't working. And also, if you've cleansed your little one's hair, done all the other things that I've mentioned, try it a couple of times and then see if it is actually the product that your little one's hair doesn't like, or if it was just you not giving it enough chances. The other reason why your little one's products may not be working or working as well is because I don't know how to say this, but your expectations are too high. Your expectations are too high. Like, for example, you are using a product and you want the product to change your little one's curl pattern. Your little one doesn't really have much of a curl pattern, and you're using this product expecting your little one to magically have loose curls all of a sudden. Your expectations are too high. It is unfair on the product to think it's going to change your little one's curl pattern. It's just it's just too much. The expectation is just too high. The expectation is too high. Like, don't put too high the expectation. For example, you're using a product and expecting the product to grow your little one's hair. Expectation is too high. The product isn't going to grow your little one's hair. Guys, if you've been watching me for a while, you know how I feel about growth products, growth oils. They just don't work. They don't grow your little one's hair. Hair growth doesn't happen this way, guys. It happens from the inside out. So nothing you put on the outside is going to affect the growth coming inside out. It's just not going to work. And also, if your little one's hair is breaking or not growing, using a product isn't going to make your little one's hair grow. Rather, find out what's causing the breakage in the first place and then minimize that breakage so you can finally see length retention. Or you're using a product because you want the product to help to thicken up your little one's hair. Again, high expectations. That isn't going to happen. When it comes to the thickness of the hair, that's down to genetics. Of course, if you're doing the right things, you have good hair care practices and you didn't have them before and you're doing all the right things now, you may notice thickness. You may notice that your little one's hair is going back to what it's genetically supposed to be, but it isn't because of the products that you're using. The products aren't going to thicken your child's hair. Just make sure that when you are purchasing products or using products, that you have set your expectations right and that you are basically not hoping for miracles. That way, when you use a product, you're not disappointed or thinking that the product isn't working simply because your expectations are too high. Now, guys, you know I love you. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm really just trying to be completely honest with you. I don't want you to be disappointed. I don't want you to put your hopes, dreams, and just think these products are going to work miracles on your little one's hair. They're really not. So please just set your expectations right, okay? NC fam, I know a lot of you complain about your little one's hair being dry. You're not sure why the dryness is happening, what to do. If this is you and your child is experiencing dryness and you don't know why it's happening, check out this video right here where I talk about some of the reasons why your little one's hair could possibly be dry, what is happening and what you should do.